Hello there. Once again, you decide to take another revealing peek back into history.
What famous date shall I set it to today?
Once again, it's time for Throwback Thursday, a second chance to look at some truly awful podcasts. No, wait, a second chance to see how far Vicis Interimo has come over the last 8 years. New episodes will be released pretty much weekly, but Thursdays I've reserved for throwbacks to see how far we've come. A lot of the information on here no longer applies, whether that be businesses or links that may not work anymore, so be advised of that. But again, I want to thank the patrons that we have at this time, though they may not have been here the first time these episodes were recorded. I am thanking them again because they're helping us move forward with our new episodes. And those are patrons such as @Lonely Bob, Big Al V, and Goldafish. In the meantime, I hope that you enjoy what you hear.
All right. Are you ready for episode number 47?
Wow, you sound so excited that sure.
I'm excited because I love this movie.
Okay.
Oh, no. You're getting more of those sighs lately. Well, anyhow, let me start off the show by welcoming you to Vicis Interimo, 30 Minutes to Kill. I'm your host, Michael Mad Saxon Jones, with my lovely wife, Lori. We're going to be doing episode number 47 today. That's our movie review, but first we're going to have a brief laid to rest segment. I don't think there's too much to say about last week's show, but if there is, we'll cover that. We'll then go in to do our movie review, and we'll finish up with our garbage in, garbage out segment. And I think we're back to having our best evers. So you kind of slipped out on a couple of those movie things for me, but...
I did?
Yeah, did you get the 2000s and the 90s?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyhow, we're going to be back to doing our we're going to be back to our best evers at the end there. So, and also there's a special announcement regarding the Pacific Motorsports bit that you may have accidentally or purposely downloaded. Yeah, we'll get to that at the end of the show. But anyhow, let's go ahead and do our laid to rest. Laid to rest. What do we have? I don't think we had too much. We didn't really get any comments on that. I think that most everybody had seen Halloween 3 that's seen it. And well, actually, that's not true. Mike from Fear Shop commented that he was interested in hearing our podcast on that because he'd love to hear people talking about the Halloween 3 movie. Opinions vary out there on it and stuff, so he was looking forward to hearing ours on it, so hopefully we didn't disappoint there. Not that we had anything new, but I don't know. Yeah. That's just a fun movie to watch for Halloween, and which brought up another, what I thought would be a fun movie for Halloween, which was Slither. So, did you have anything to cover and lay to rest, or should we just move right along and insert some music and move on to our review?
There was, I don't know.
That's okay. We'll take a little dead air here, and you can, I'll chop it out accordingly.
I'm sorry. I had a bunch of things written down, notes on last week's, and it didn't really even relate to the movie, but I can't seem to find them, so.
Well, we'll move right along to our movie review then. This week's movie is Slither.
When you marry someone, you promise to love them forever.
Baby.
No matter how much they might change.
Try it.
Baby, what happened to your face?
It's just a bee sting.
From Universal Pictures
Tree is sick or something?
comes a film so shocking. We got a real problem here. So disgusting.
Don't let him in your mouth!
It will change the face of horror.
Marriage is a sacred bond, for better or worse.
Much worse. Chick is hardcore.
Something's wrong with me.
Slither.
What's Slither about, Lori?
Oh, let's see. This was kind of crazy. We usually like to read the synopsis from Netflix, but boy, I don't know. It says, are you okay? Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
This is going to be one. Should we just start this whole thing over?
No, we got it. I'll fix it in post. So, tell me what the movie Slither is about.
Okay. This is a crazy synopsis. It doesn't really tell you what the movie's about, but you'll have to tell us what it's about. Okay, we've got Slither from 2006, rated R, 96 minutes. All right, here we go. In the small burg of Wheelsy, house cats are turning into hellcats, and townsfolk are morphing into zombies, prompting Sheriff Bill Pardy, played by Nathan Fillion, and the concerned wife, Elizabeth Banks, of one of the town's richest citizens, to uncover the dark forces at work. James Gunn writes and directs this creepy horror tale, his first project since the sleeper hit Dawn of the Dead, that has its protagonists keeping their wits about them. What?
You're right. It really doesn't tell you much about the movie, does it?
No.
Okay.
I just looked at that and went, what is that? I should have found a different one.
Yeah, you maybe should have looked for another one instead of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what we think the movie is about, or what the movie I watched was about, was a space alien that makes its way to Earth in a giant asteroid, or we decided meteorites are the ones that actually strike the Earth. So it makes its way to Earth in a meteorite. And
okay, yeah. That didn't make a whole lot of sense, but that's okay. That's not the point of the movie.
Okay.
Did you notice when it hit the ground? I like how it looked like this big, like, jawbreaker or something, and when it cracks open, it looks like, I don't know, it's all like red and gooey inside.
Yeah.
Looks like one of those jawbreakers with gum in the middle.
Ew. Okay. So
No?
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I can kind of see
I thought
that.
that was interesting.
All right.
Never mind.
It's I was just going to give what the movie was about before we talked about it. But anyhow.
Okay.
So yeah, the meteorite strikes, and yeah, this alien life form gets loose, and it actually gets picked up by one of the citizens of Wheelsy. What is it?
Wheelsy.
Wheelsy. There we go. And it starts to morph and transform, and I guess the synopsis did say that it turned people into sort of zombies. And
yeah.
So it's just a survival movie where they're trying to survive this alien infestation.
Yeah, you find out later this alien creature takes over entire worlds, and then it moves on.
Right.
But yeah, and what did the girl says it comes in? A few different forms. The main entity or whatever, and then the small slug ones that get in your body and they attach themselves to your brain and take control of your body, and then
there's actually breeder.
Yeah.
There's a breeder form that makes more of the slugs.
Unfortunately, yes, there is.
Well, before we talk any more about it, let me just ask you, what was your general feelings of the movie? Did you like it or you didn't like it, or?
It's funny because we watched it a couple years back, and I honestly didn't really remember anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually know that when that happens, I'm not going to care very much for it. So yeah, it was just okay. I don't know. You like it way more than I do.
I absolutely love it. Not like it. I love this movie. Really, yes. I'm a huge fan of it.
Really?
Right from the first start. As soon as that asteroid was coming in, I'm not sure how it was shot or what, but I knew I was going to like it from the beginning. I didn't remember everything about it because we hadn't watched it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just setting back last night, getting ready to watch it and stuff. I knew I had the general sense that I liked the movie again, but watching right from the first frame, I was hooked, and this movie didn't have any slow parts for me. It moved right along. I thought the pacing was good.
Yeah, it is.
We talked about the fact that it is R-rated. There's some coarse language and a little bit of nudity, not really much. More for the language than the violence and gore.
Yeah.
And there are some gory things. And gore, you've heard us say a lot that I'm not really into it. But paradoxically, somehow for me, the gore in this isn't offensive. It's still gross and over the top. But somehow the fact that it's a space alien and it's supposed to be slimy, gross things, it's okay. It's not like, watching somebody hack somebody else up, another human being with a hatchet or something. I don't know. Yeah. Which, that has its place too, but you know what I mean? It's when it gets excessive, then it gets gross to me, but this, absolutely gross, but
in a different way.
And, somehow more tolerable. I don't know. It's a bit of a paradox there, not a paradigm. But you can tell me about a paradigm later. So anyhow, I love this movie right from the beginning. It's got a great cast. It's got some really good special effects, even though a lot of it, some of it is computer generated.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Did that take away from you?
It was the scenes where there was a lot of the little slug-like creatures.
Mm-hmm.
The scenes where there was, hundreds or thousands of them moving around, it looked a little lame for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, me, I'm not the CG fan at all.
Right.
The shots of the one that goes into the bathtub and it shows it just by itself.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to put more detail, I think, on it, and it looked way better.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was when they had the masses of them going along. It looked very fakey, but
for me, that didn't bother me too much. It did.
Well, it's because it's the nature of this movie, though. The movie, it's a comedy. Right. It's not supposed to be some, really realistic, convincing thing anyway, is it? It's very comical.
It's very comical, and it's not, but it's not played that way. It's not played for laughs. A couple weeks back, we talked about Sharktopus. This would be a better example of what I was hoping to see when Sharktopus came on. Not what I expected, because after all, it was a sci-fi movie. But everybody in here, they delivered their lines with sincerity and convincing, whereas in Sharktopus, rather, you could tell they were kind of delivering it tongue-in-cheek and knew that they were being, goofy when they made their jokes.
Yeah, and it was just bad acting.
Yeah, and it was just bad acting.
But this one had, quality actors.
Yeah.
And, I guess something else about it, the characters, there wasn't really anybody that likable in this town, so you didn't really care.
No, you didn't like the sheriff, Nathan?
Now, hold on.
Okay.
Nathan.
Bill Pardy. Pardy? What's his name?
Okay, yeah, he was a captain, remember?
Yeah.
He was promoted.
Yep.
But yes, no, he was okay.
Okay.
And the other main character, Starla, she was okay also. But just for the most part, I don't know. It was really missing something for me. I don't know. For me, because it had the feeling also, I'd written down a couple movies that it kind of made me think of sort of in the same spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I'd written down Arachnophobia and I'd written down Mars Attacks.
Okay.
Just because it was kind of silly, and joking the whole time and funny situations. But it was lacking the things those other movies had for me, because those had some great characters in them. This just didn't have it. The captain, he was okay.
Okay. For me, I thought it was great. I enjoyed Greg Henry's performance, even though he's probably the one that was swearing the most. He delivers what I thought was the best line, which I'm going to clean up, which is, if I wasn't ready to crap my pants right now, I'd be frickin' fascinated. That line just cracks me up every time he delivers it. I like him. I liked him in another movie, and actually an action movie, which was Payback with Mel Gibson. He plays these crazy off-the-wall type characters, and he certainly does this time. And for me, that he was definitely entertaining in this one.
He was the mayor, right?
He was the mayor, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. He didn't have much to offer.
Okay.
I mean, he was just, filthy-mouthed constantly, joking constantly, always had something crude to say. But that's how the whole movie was. So I think it was just a little over the top for me, maybe. It didn't have balance with anything else.
Okay.
It was just a little bit too much in one direction.
Okay. When we watched it, I was going to say one of the other things that I enjoyed was you get a little glimpse of the Toxic Avenger in there. So you know that Lloyd Kaufman must have been there or had something to do with it. If they didn't produce it, I'm not sure. Because I did see his name actually mentioned on the DVD when we were looking at the gag reel. But yeah, it definitely has some crude humor in there and so on. But for me, this did hit the spot, and I really enjoyed it. What if you were going to have to give it a rating? What would you give it?
I'm going to give it about a 4.
4? Oh my gosh! Okay.
Yes, a 4.
All right.
Don't make me give it a 3.
Well, nope. It's all about opinions, and that's fine. My opinion, I give it a 9. I love this movie. I really, really enjoy it. It's not for everybody. I could see that, but I really liked it. I actually before we talked about it,
9 though. Wow, 9 is like one away from perfect.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah. A couple other people made mention of it when I said that we were going to talk about this. Will came on and said that this was a movie that he loved. Marilyn on Facebook also commented that this was another one that she liked, and probably the one that she was going to throw on for background noise during Halloween while the trick-or-treaters were coming through.
Oh my gosh.
Hopefully she'll turn it down before the kids get to the door, but at any rate.
Wow, because this one actually on Netflix, they don't do this very often, but this actually has the common sense rating on it, and it's labeled as not for kids.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. You can click on that. You could check it out if you want. Click on it and see all the reasons why this movie is not for kids.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's mostly just because of the language and the dirty humor going on the whole time.
Right.
I mean, because it's really heavy on it. It's not just like a character or two or a group of people, or it's like, I don't know. It's like the whole movie. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. They gave it the not for kids common sense rating. So. Okay.
Was there anything good that stood out in particular with regard to the film? Anything that they did that you liked story-wise?
Well, yeah, of course, because I love sci-fi.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked the sci-fi angle.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't enough for me. I liked the collective consciousness of this creature.
Right.
I liked the part where all of the police officers get infected with the thing and these slugs take over their brains or whatever, and they're all talking to the girl like they're all her husband.
Yeah, that's some creepy scenes there.
So that's interesting when you realize, okay, well, her husband was the first one to be infected. He is now he's the carrier of this main alien. And yeah, all these little slugs go out and infect people, but they're all linked. So right. I like that.
Story-wise, I thought it was interesting just from the standpoint that also this alien was used to being alone and a separate entity. So when the main character's husband was taken over by the alien, he still had a bit of his personality in there and his love for his wife, even though they were a bit of an odd couple.
Yeah,
That didn't work for you?
I don't know. The thing said that it's been around for 1 billion years, and if this thing was around for 1 billion years, going from planet to planet, absorbing every single living life form, everything, it would have so much information and stuff stored in that consciousness. I don't know. It's just for her husband to still have that strong of a control still.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Weren't buying it? Too cheesy, too corny?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. Well, Michael.
But it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, and I understand that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michael Rooker. Wow.
Ooh.
Michael Rooker is the guy that played Grant.
Yeah.
And he's the husband of Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
Starla.
Starla.
Okay. Yeah, Starla. So, so that, for me, that worked. I don't know, maybe I'm just a, hopeless romantic, but I thought that,
they weren't a great couple anyway. He was a masher and she was just, I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. You're forgetting the scene. They weren't a happy couple, so whatever.
Okay.
I don't know. Actually, I've lost you.
There you are.
I don't know.
Because you're not saying it enough.
Do you want me to? Well, I'm having trouble. I'm a little tired today, so forgive me. I'm sorry.
That's all right. The other thing that I was going to say then, moving on, just, what do I want to say?
I don't know.
The other thing to do with the movie that I thought was interesting was the cutaway shots where they show the alien attaching itself to the brain.
Yes, I actually have that written down.
Okay.
Because I do have a little list of things that I liked about it.
Okay.
I liked the thing cracking open for whatever reason.
Okay.
It's kind of an old, that the whole pod person or, something popping open and coming out. You don't know what it's going to be. Yeah. I like that. And yes, it was like an X-ray effect or something.
Yeah.
When it gets inside of him and he falls on his side and it goes into an X-ray effect and you can see it working its way up and it looks like his brain just sort of like burns out like a...
Well, I think it attached the brain stem there, kind of where is that the medulla oblongata in there? Didn't we learn that from Waterboy? I don't know.
There's something wrong with your medulla oblongata. I love the Waterboy. If it was just more like Waterboy, I'd have loved it. I don't know.
Adam Sandler would have saved this one for you?
Oh my gosh. I don't think he'd have. Well, he might have. He might have been in that movie. I don't know. I was going to say I don't think he'd go there, but he might.
Okay. Well, we'll just list off the other things you did like then.
I liked the scene where the girl, the one that attacks her while she's in the bathtub, and it was trying to go in her mouth and she stops it and actually pulls it out, but somehow it attaches just enough where she has this vision. She gets the collective consciousness just for a moment.
Right.
And she sees the planet and the creatures and this alien just grabbing these giant alien animals and things. And that's the best part of the whole movie.
Okay.
I want to see that movie.
Okay.
And I see that. I want to pull that one out and like make a movie out of that. I want to see that movie.
Okay.
That was pretty cool. And it was really out of the ordinary for the feeling of the movie and stuff, because it was kind of, campy, silly, whatever. But then like it had this kind of dark, ominous, kind of blue tinted, scary scene of this planet and these animals. And you're like, whoa, where am I? Mm-hmm. It was cool though. Okay. I like that part.
Well, this is another movie that I enjoyed just because it involved the audience. You were watching.
I don't hear you again.
Okay. I'm saying something.
There you go.
Something.
You're there.
Another thing that I enjoyed in this movie was it's one that I felt involved the audience in what you were watching. You were actually watching it and seeing things that the characters on screen didn't know yet when it came to the missing pets and so on. You know, I think it involved the audience, and I think they did a good job making a movie that would be fun to watch. At least it was fun for me. So I think this is one that I would suggest if you're going to sit around with your friends, like-minded individuals, and enjoy. This would be a fun one for a Halloween party. But that's just my opinion. Anything else regarding the movie?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I didn't take a lot of notes.
Okay.
Looks like I covered everything.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll move on.
Oh, I wrote that I liked the Stretch Armstrong effect. I just saw that little note. I squeezed that note in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
When Grant was taken over and about to run off.
Yeah, it's funny because he looks he doesn't look normal. His face doesn't look normal, but he still has his body, and he's fighting with his wife, and he starts to choke her, and like his arm looks all normal around her neck, and then all of a sudden it gets all like fluid, like liquid, and as they said in the movie, his arm was all bendy. You know, he looked like a squid, but it's just like this rubber hose kind of thing around her neck, but it's her arm, his arm, but yeah, when he runs off, it's just all like flopping and hitting the lamps and stuff. That was ridiculous, but that was good. I liked that part.
Okay, so it just didn't have enough of that in there for you.
No, it had too much of the other stuff that I didn't like.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what did you say, a 7?
4.
Oh, okay. So you give this one a 5, and I give this one a 9.
4.
You're going to stick to that one, huh?
I'm telling you, don't make me give it a 3, because you're pushing it.
Okay, well...
Hold on.
Okay.
No.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on to our garbage in, garbage out segment.
That's too bad because we were laughing and stuff. And like, you're like, oh, okay, well, you know what I mean? Now you're like, okay, let's move on to, I don't know how it's going to edit.
It'll be beautiful. I can do anything in post.
Whatever.
What do you mean, whatever?
Whatever.
Okay. Garbage in, garbage out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk briefly, since it's not really horror related. What do we watch this week?
Oh my gosh, we watched Valley Girl.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we did.
What?
I don't know, because I'm going to lose some street cred here by saying I'm the one that actually wanted to watch it.
What's wrong with you?
Oh no. I had never mind.
For sure.
For sure. Yeah, I'd been listening to some of the music recently and thought it was funny. It just happened to come on. Again, let's try that again. We have that movie channel for this month, free preview that's playing the 70s, 80s, and 90s movies. So, we just happened to catch Valley Girl on there. So that was entertaining and lots of fun.
It's a classic.
Yeah, it's a real slice of life around the mid to late 80s.
Yeah, I was going to say, it came out when I was in high school. Takes me right back.
Yeah, definitely. And it's pretty much how it was when I first arrived out here in 87, I guess. Wow.
Yeah, because of course even though they're supposed to be in Encino and in a couple other cities, a lot of it was filmed. I mean, it was filmed in our local mall.
That's true.
At Delamo Fashion Square Mall.
Yeah.
So I always thought that was funny.
Yeah.
But,
and the other movie that I watched this week, another movie that's not for everybody, but I watched Eric the Viking.
Oh.
And who's that? That's Terry Jones' movie. Mm-hmm. And no relation. Well, no relation that I know of. Anyhow, he's I don't know what it is about those movies. I really enjoy it, and it's got both subtle humor and slapstick that, for whatever reason, really entertains me. For some reason, one of the funniest things I find in that movie is the Christian missionary, for whatever reason, is unable to see the Vikings Valhalla when they get there. And when there's a invisible cloak introduced into the story, it's the Vikings that can absolutely see everything that's going on, while Tim Robbins' character of Eric the Viking, is wearing it. All the Vikings can see him, but it's the Christian missionary that can't seem to see him when he has a cloak of invisibility on. Silly, ridiculous stuff like that, but anyhow.
I think I followed that.
Okay. I might just have to cut this part out.
You don't have to do that.
Oh, well.
Just because I'm not following it doesn't mean other people aren't.
Okay. Well, I'm sure somebody out there has probably watched Eric the Viking and is either
Yes.
enjoying it or...
It's been a while since I've seen it, and you watched it without me this week, so I can't comment too much on it.
Okay.
I like it better than Slither.
That's really too bad. What do you have for a best ever?
Oh, I have a couple of them.
Well, just give me
I'll
one.
only use one,
first.
though. You go first.
Oh, you would put me on the spot. See, I don't have it written down in front of me, and I was waiting for you to...
Oh, see, I didn't either.
Alrighty.
What?
Okay, I got it. My worst ever. That's what it is for this week.
Worst ever.
Giving Tree, the worst book ever. The worst child's book ever. The Giving Tree is awful. It's crap. I hate it. It scarred me as a child.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But it's the Giving Tree.
No, it's awful. Absolutely awful.
I know. It is kind of a bummer of a book. Okay. Well, I have a best ever.
What's your best ever?
I'm going to say that Cutthroat Island is the best pirate movie ever.
Alrighty then.
But now I gotta say though, the best realism one, because of course all the Johnny Depp fans are going to come beat me up now, but great trilogy of movies. I love the pirate movies.
Best pirate trilogy to you then?
Well, no.
No?
I'm just saying, just for a straight pirate movie, because there's been a lot of them through the years, and I know a lot of people hated Cutthroat Island, but I love that movie.
Okay.
I think it's the best. I could watch it every day.
Okay.
Yep. Matthew Modine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Gina Davis.
Anything else to add?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, let's move.
Oh, you were making fun of me from last week saying it's a paradigm. You want to make fun of me some more?
No, that's
all of a sudden I can't hear you again.
Okay. So that's all right, because it'll come back here in a second, or it did come back, or it will come back, or no? Oh, you.
No, I haven't pulled it out yet.
Okay.
Are you there?
I am here.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, that was, it was kind of funny because when I listened to that later, I didn't even really realize that I'd said that, but it must have not made any kind of sense to anybody. Stop laughing.
Okay.
But yeah, paradigm in the sense of a pattern or a model. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yes.
That works.
Because I seem to have this problem where, maybe I don't see it as a problem, but we were talking about me loving the old vintage stuff and me loving my rotary dial telephone, but I love sci-fi and I love futuristic stuff too.
Right.
But yeah, that's a pattern for me, absolutely, because I'm a person of extremes.
Okay.
This?
There we.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know. Say something. I'm going to say something right now. I'm going to say something else and continue to say something until you can hear me. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
What is it? Is it my computer?
It's looking like it's your computer, I'm guessing. I don't know. But my mic seems to be working on this side. I see.
Oh, that's nice. You're going to come through my speaker instead?
Yeah. But where? Oh.
What?
Did
For real?
Did you turn your button off or something?
There we go. No, I'm not doing anything. Now you're in the headset.
Okay, good.
Well, now that was totally stupid because I was trying to make an explanation, and now what?
Well, I think you made your explanation. And did I cut out again? Or
No.
You're hearing me. Okay, that's good.
I'm just, these technical difficulties are getting me down.
Yeah.
I think the last thing you said was, okay, well, that makes more sense.
Yes. Well, okay, that makes more sense.
Okay, just barely, though. I think we need to wrap this up.
All right, well, let's wrap it up. One last thing I wanted to mention. I'm working on a project, or potentially working on a project for a local motorcycle shop. And so we had to use our own bandwidth at this time to do a test podcast for them. So sorry about the extra little Vicis Interimo hiccup that you got there. Well, actually, it's a Pacific Motorsports hiccup. But, yeah, go ahead and delete that. But this is still Vicis Interimo, same bandwidth. No need to dump us from your iTunes or anything like that. All right, so thanks for listening to the show. And say goodnight, Lori.
Good night. This episode's awful. What a freaking nightmare.